the time I'm recording this, we're in that week between Christmas and New Year's where time isn't real and nothing in life matters. So, I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That put me in a mood for Sonic the Hedgehog, and now we're here. Because tier lists are comfy and easy to wear.
There is no meme. This is just a threat.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog is 30 years of absolute majesty. Beauty, even. So I've just assembled the games that I've played and feel as though I have enough recollection to put on a tier list. Granted, some of the games on this list I have not played since I was a wee little sprout. So, if anything that I say sounds wrong, or like not how the game actually works, please consider I was 7. Without further ado, the original Son the Hedge, Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm actually putting that in B tier. A lot of people don't like the original Sonic the Hedgehog. They're like, oh my goodness, you really can't go fast that much. There's the Labyrinth Zone. I can't spin dash. There's the Labyrinth Zone. And like, Labyrinth Zone isn't even that bad. See, the thing is Sonic the Hedgehog is really fun as a platformer. Like, yeah, there aren't that many places you go super fast. It's really like half the zones. You go really fast in Green Hill, Spring Yard, and Stardust. And then Marble Zone, Labyrinth Zone, and Scrap Brain, comparably, are a little slower. But I don't think that's a problem. The way Sonic controls is still good, even if not having the spin dash does cause me psychic damage every time I replay it. The music is amazing, and like, it's just a good platformer. Are the ones that come after it better at what it does? Yes. But it's kind of like Donkey Kong Country. Like, every Donkey Kong Country after the first one is better than it. But, it's still a good game. You can definitely tell they're ironing some of the kinks out of Sonic. As like I said, the spin dash is an invention that was desperately needed. The Chaos Emeralds, there's only 6 of them instead of 7. And they don't actually do anything other than make flowers bigger once the game's over. But it's still a fun time. Sonic the Hedgehog is on like anything you can find in some way, shape, or form. I still think it's worth playing. I like the first one. But of course, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is just better. I'm putting that in A tier. Like, in terms of an upgrade in quality from one game to the sequel, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 from Sonic 1 is one of the best jumps. Because it really does do everything better. And I say that as someone that just put Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in B tier. The speed is much better. Like, Sonic was known for being fast. And now Sonic 2 gives him way more places to be fast at every point in the game. It introduces Tails, who actually can't fly yet. Fun fact. The whole propelling him with his tails, I don't remember if it was established in, like, comics or external media at this point. I think Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. But in terms of being able to fly with Tails in-game, that started with Sonic 3. Still, though, he's a cutie. The level design is much better than Sonic the Hedgehog, as much as I love Sonic. The zones in it are all great. Oh, not all great. Oil Ocean can suck a fat chode. But other than that, like, Emerald Coast, that's Sonic Adventure. Emerald Hill, great. Chemical Plant, great. Casino Night, amazing. Aquatic Ruin. I love that Aquatic Ruin's like, look, we heard you guys didn't like Labyrinth Zone. So what if we made the penalty for you fucking up having to go back underwater? Great. I love Hilltop Zone. I love, Flying Egg? Whatever the hell the one on the airship is. Like, a bunch of great zones as long as you're not thinking about Oil Ocean. And the final boss fucked me up as a kid, but now as a grown-ass man, it's one of my favorite final bosses because, like, if you fuck up, it's your fault. Like, The Eggman robot does exactly what you think it's going to do. I love that game. It introduced Supersonic. Mystic Cave Zone's also good. I forgot about that one. I was listening to Zones Off. It's just good. Takes everything the first Sonic did and went, well, I'm going to do it better. And then Sonic 3 and Knuckles came along and took everything Sonic 2 did and did it better. It's insane how much of, like, the original Sonic trilogy just built on itself to do better and better and better and better. However, the problem with talking about Sonic 3 is you always need an asterisk. Because are you talking about Sonic 3 as it was meant to be released, which is the Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or are you just talking about vanilla Sonic 3? I'm talking about them combined because that's how you would play the game on anything today, and that's how it was meant to be. But I can understand if you're like, actually, there's Sonic 3 and then the Sonic and Knuckles, they are two separate games. Sonic 3 zones are all amazing, both aesthetically. I also really like how they decided to make each act in the zone visually and often gameplay-wise distinct from each other. Because the acts in the first few games, like, unless you just knew what every single stage in Sonic the Hedgehog looked like, there's no difference between Act 1, 2, and 3 of Green Hill. There's no difference between Act 1 and 2 of Chemical Plant. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you can tell at a glance the difference between Act 1 of Hydro City and Act 2 of Hydro City. Act 1 of Flying Battery does not look the same as Act 2 of Flying Battery. It switches up the gameplay a lot more in fun ways. The addition of Knuckles as a playable character and him getting his own special versions of the zones, but not all of them, but a lot of them, that's a lot of fun. The boss fights also take a step up. You don't just fight Robotnik. Now you have mini-bosses, which, kind of the problem with designing bosses for 2D Sonic is due to how rings work. Whenever you get hit, you just grab another ring. That's why the final boss of every Sonic game is like, no rings. You're doing this mano-y-mano. The music's also amazing. Shout out to Michael Jackson. I'm so glad that that rumor that Mr. M was Michael Jackson was true, because God bless his soundtrack in this. Just, this original Sonic trilogy constantly builds on itself, and just makes a better game each time. And I love it for that. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is great. As a kid, I remember I would replay Sky Sanctuary as Knuckles for the Mecha Sonic fight, and it's just so cool. I love that game so much. I played it on the channel. You should check it out now before I fucking kill you. Alright. However, sandwiched in between, was it 1 and 2 or 2 and 3? I think between 2 and 3, I could be a fake Sonic fan here, is Sonic CD! Sonic CD had a mythical place as, like, the greatest 2D Sonic ever made, because it was a lot harder to play for a while. Like, it didn't get re-released on Sonic Mega Collection, which was the big Sonic Collection. It came out on the Gems Collection that had, like, Sonic R and Vector Man on it. Crazy how they made a Sonic Collection where Vector Man was the best game, because I don't like Sonic CD that much. Do I think it's C or D tier is the real question. I think low C, as I put more games into C tier, and games into D tier. That Sonic CD. I just don't like its level design. Like, the Future Past gimmick is kind of cool, but I never felt like it did enough to justify existing. The Time Stones are kind of cool, but they don't really do anything. Metal Sonic's cool. The opening and ending are cool. I'm not going to act like I didn't play Sonic Mega Collection and replay the Sonic Boom opening and ending like 30 times each. But again, it's been a while since I played CD. So if there are any CD's truthers out there, please forgive me. But that game loves fucking springs. There are springs on every goddamn level that just bounce you all over the place. Wacky Workbench. Its entire gimmick is the bottom of the ground is a big-ass spring, and it's obnoxious. The only zone I remember really liking that much is Quartz Quadrant. I don't like the zones very much. The music's good, but not enough. I don't think it's as good as the other Genesis titles. Outside of Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom slaps. But, it's just, you have to include it with the original games, because it was on the Genesis. It's a 2D Genesis Sonic game. I forgot to talk about Amy. Amy came in that game. Amy's cool. Wish she debuted in a better game. I don't like CD. Alright, next up I think is 3D Blast? No, 3D Blast was also on the Saturn, so I think next is actually Spinball? I don't know which one came out chronologically next. I'm gonna go with Spinball. I could be wrong. That's gonna go in C, slightly above Sonic CD. It's a short game because it's just fucking pinball. Like that, here's the thing, Sonic Spinball, like, it's a cool coat of paint over a pinball game. Like, all the zones are cool, the toxic caves are neat, the, furnace is cool, the machine is neat, and then it's the rock, like, it's only 4 levels, and then the rocket ship, like, it's all cool, but it's just fucking pinball. With really fucking good music. That amazing, great. I'd fuck to it. But just maybe don't have sex as something called Toxic Caves. That's not. Anyways, Sonic Spinball is just pinball. I'm not a pinball guy, like, at all. A lot of my buddies are pinball wizards who love to go to pinball arcade places. I don't really like pinball that much, which is a damn shame because almost every Sonic game has a pinball level in it somewhere. Which I get, is pinball, Sonic can be a ball. But like, It's more fun, like, it's fun, but I usually get bored of it in the machine. I play through Toxic Caves, I'm like, yeah, Sonic Spinball. And then I play through the Furnace, I'm like, Sonic Spinball. And then I get to the machine and I'm just like, where's Bert Kreischer when you need him? It's okay. It's okay. It's pinball. If you like pinball, I think that could be like a B or A tier. I think it's a very well-made pinball game. It's pinball. Is Sonic 3D Blast next? I think so. I actually have a soft spot for 3D Blast. I played it a lot on Sonic Mega Collection as a kid, and the main shtick with the gameplay of 3D Blast is that it is an isometric platformer where you are trying to find 5 flickies by defeating the 5 enemies in every, like, area. It's almost like an adventure game, like a collectathon, kind of. A collectathon, that's really stretching it. But I don't know what else to use it as. And then when you defeat the 5 enemies, you get the 5 flickies, you go in a gold ring, and then you get to the next part of the stage. And, like, every area is a set piece where you need to explore all around. There are secrets to be found. And you just need to hunt and kill every single machine. Though it does have some annoying parts that hold it back. Sonic's control... Excuse me, the way he controls is a little off. It's very slippery. And there is the very annoying thing that if you ever get hit by anything, Sonic loses all the flickies he's holding, and you have to go track them down, and they are very tiny birds. But still, I remember liking it well enough. I'm trying to remember the zones. There's the Green Hill-esque zone. There's the ruins, the ice level, the lava level, the carnival. I remember the carnival kind of cool. And then a vaguely machine level. It's cool. I like it. Do I like it more than the original Sonic? Okay, I have a soft spot for 3D Blast, but I don't think I have that much of a soft spot for 3D Blast. Music's also amazing. Tails and Knuckles are there. They take you to special stages if you pay them money. But otherwise, they don't really do anything. It's alright. It's cool. I have a soft spot for it, though. I could definitely see someone putting it lower, and I really wouldn't be able to defend it. Alright, not to get political, but Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine fucks. It's just Puyo Puyo. I know this. It is just a reskin of Puyo Puyo, but with Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the cartoon characters, on it. But Puyo Puyo slaps. Puyo Puyo is my favorite puzzle game. Some like, oh, Tetris, or Tetris Attack, or like, no, Puyo Puyo. Puyo Puyo is so much fun. Getting those little blobs together and getting combos, it's great. I've gone to play Puyo Puyo. I've played Puyo Puyo on arcade cabinets. Like, I would go into a arcade, and there were all these actual games I could play. You know, like fighting games, or like you know, light gun games, like actual cool shit. But I lock eyes with the Puyo Puyo machine, and I am there. I am playing that Puyo Puyo. And Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is, I think, literally just a reskin of some Puyo Puyo game. I don't know exactly which one. But I love it. I love the formula. And and the fact that it's the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog characters and Eggman design is really cool. Funny anecdote about it. I was playing it on, I think Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection on 360. I was over, my brother and mother lived together, and I was over there playing it. And I was on, I think his name is Spike? It's like a gold dude with spikes. And my brother's like, who the hell is that? And he's played Sonic games, but he doesn't know much about the TV shows. So I was fucking gaslighting him into thinking that Spike was this, like, actually important character that got an entire arc about him being a minor antagonist. And I, like, gaslit him about this for 10 minutes before I was like, I don't know who the fuck that thing is. I think he's just a one-off robot design from Sonic. Like, that memory is valuable to me. I've only beaten Robotnik once. Mean Bean Machine is one of those games where I just boot it up every now and again. I get to, like, stage 8. And then usually on, like, Scratch. I think he's actually stage 9. Or Dynamite. I'm like, I've had some fun with Puyo Puyo. But that's the kind of game it is. You pick it up, you play it. You might only play it for, like, 30 minutes. You might play it for, like, an hour. Then you put it away. That's what Puyo Puyo is, and that's what Mean Bean Machine is. Love that game. If you think that doesn't belong in S tier, shut the fuck up. Alright, what came after Mean Bean Machine? Oh, the Game Gear games. I haven't played all of them. I just played the ones that I remember from Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, which on GameCube lets you unlock Game Gear games, and then they remove that from any future ports because Sega hates you. You, personally. Sonic Drift, it's just a Sonic car game. It's cute. I'd imagine it's not even. I think that might actually be D tier. Like, it's okay, but it's very basic. This can also be an unofficial spot for Sonic Drift 2. They're portable Mario Karts, except without any of the cool items that made Mario Kart fun. And that's coming from someone that actually does have a soft spot for Super Nintendo Mario Kart. It's okay. Alright, this is definitely going to make someone mad. And I know that Sonic Labyrinth is considered one of the worst Sonic games ever made. I remember actually liking it when I was a kid, playing it on Sonic Adventure DX. Like, the whole plot of the game is Eggman tricks Sonic into putting on, like, stone shoes or something, and Sonic can't run anymore. So you're put in a labyrinth where you need to zoom around a level, find 3 keys to get to the door to the next level, and your only real way of moving is through the spin dash. I remember I beat it multiple times as a kid. I, like, loved playing Sonic Labyrinth. I fear to ever touch it again because I'm almost certain the blindness of youth made me think it was a lot better than it actually was. But I have too many memories of actually enjoying that game to not put it at least high C tier. I know putting that in front of Sonic CD is going to make someone shoot and kill me. Yeah. I probably deserve it. I don't have much to say because all of my memory of that is of childhood. It's probably terrible. But it's my terrible. Alright, after Sonic Labyrinth would be Sonic R. I don't know if it's fair to say this, but I don't think I've ever seen a game like Sonic R get carried so hard by the concepts of racers and its soundtrack. Sonic R controls like shit. Its course design isn't great. But like, it's got Metal Knuckles and Tails Doll. And the music is amazing. Supersonic Racing, Can You Feel the Sunshine, Work It Out, Reactive Factory, Living in the City, Diamonds in the Sky. Like, every music track in that game has soul. It is beautiful. However, actually racing on it, dog shit. It controls like shit. It's not fun. Finding the Chaos Emeralds in the tracks to unlock other racers is not that... Oh, wait, was it you needed the 5 medals to unlock a racer? Yeah, no, you needed to collect 5 medals in every stage. Kind of turning the race into a, like, discover thing. Then you need to win the race. Then you need to win another race against the unlockable character to unlock them. And then you just needed to collect the 7 Chaos Emeralds to open up the final racetrack, which has the best song in the game, but it's just a straight line, really. The game's dog shit, but if Sonic R was just a soundtrack, it'd be an S tier. Alright, so after Sonic R, I believe, is Sonic Adventure. Fucking, that's going in S tier. That's going at the top of S tier. Sonic Adventure is incredible. I've made a whole hour-long retrospective on Sonic Adventure, which nowadays I don't like making my retrospectives that long, but by God am I still proud of that video. But trying to sum up Sonic... How do you sum up Sonic Adventure? That's like everyone's played it. It's one of the greatest games ever made. But okay. Sonic Adventure, you have 6 playable characters. All of them have their own little stories, and sometimes they intermingle, and sometimes they're completely separate. There were actually only 11 stages in the game, but each of the 6 characters plays, like, 3 characters will play 1 stage, I think, except Lost World. That's only Sonic and Knuckles. So really, there's over 30 stages, but really there's not over 30 stages, because, like, calling Tails his own character is kind of stretching it. You're just playing Sonic stages, but you can break them beyond all recognition. But the 10 Sonic stages, all of them are great. Tails, you just play Sonic stages, you're racing him, but, like, you can fly, and then you skip the entire level, and it's kind of funny, actually. Knuckles introduces his treasure hunting, where you glide, dig around, trying to find Master Emerald pieces. They're all fun. Amy's gameplay is okay. She's running away from a giant robot, and it's like... eh. It's not terrible, but there's only 3 stages for her. Big sucks. I know that Big the Cat has this, like, renaissance as a character, where everyone's like, oh man, Big was too hated. Big's great. And, like, as a character, he can be fun. But his gameplay fucking sucks. It's just fishing. And fishing sucks. Like, I know JRPG fans are like, where's my fishing minigame? Fishing minigames fucking suck. They're boring as shit. What makes fishing fun in real life is the people you're fishing with. I've gone fishing with my dad and my grandfather and had a good time because I was with my dad and my grandfather. I think I literally said this before. Sonic Adventure can't program my father into the game. You're just playing Sega Pro Bass Fishing. And then Gamma fucks. The gameplays are all either, like, kind of boring, like I just went on that rant about fishing, but it's not Big's fault. That's the gaming, the JRPG industry at large. But gameplay styles are fun. Gamma's a shoot 'em up and he's cool. The music's amazing. The level design's pretty good. It does suffer from trying to build levels that 3 different characters can play in, rather than just making their own levels. But it's okay. I like it. Not okay. like, it manages okay and produces a very fun game. I love Sonic Adventure. The story's actually really good. It can be a little difficult to understand because there are some, like, the dub, while the voices are fine, the voice direction can be a little abysmal, and sadly, this is something that persists through all of Sonic, for a while at least. But the actual story of Chaos is great. The levels are great. I like Sonic Adventure. I know, bold opinion. Hey, wait, are you ready for this bold opinion? You know what's better than Sonic Adventure? Sonic Adventure 2. I know. Bold claims I'm making. Truly. I am cracked out of my gourd. Sonic Adventure 2 looks at Sonic Adventure and goes, okay, Amy, Tails, Big, your gameplay sucks, we are deleting you, you are gone. Gamma, Knuckles, Sonic, your gameplay fucked. We're gonna take Sonic's gameplay, really not change all that much, just give him a few new moves, give him an edgy, dark counterpart, boom, 10 Sonic levels. Knuckles, we're gonna make controlling you even better, and we're gonna actually make levels from the ground up that you should be in. Great, you're shipped, 10 levels. Or 9, because Rouge has that car level. Gamma, you're fucking dead. However, shooting things is cool. We're gonna give Tails a mech, Eggman a mech, 10 Gamma levels without Gamma, ship it, done, great. I love all 31 levels of Sonic Adventure 2 that's not Nad Space. They just refined what Sonic Adventure did. They removed the adventure fields, which it's kind of weird to be called Sonic Adventure and then remove the adventure part. But it's still, the adventure is still felt by the diversity of locations you go to. Like the desert, the jungle, government bases, cityscapes, whatever the fuck you call Pumpkin Hill and Skyrail, space. Like, it's all cool. The story, again, is great. Shadow the Hedgehog has persisted for so long because he's cool, and, you know, I'm tired of acting like he's not. Music's amazing, and not just the character themes, like, you know, people like, oh yeah, Crush 40, Living, not just those, like Green Forest, Metal Harbor, Mission Street, Cosmic Wall, Pyramid Cave, like, all the level themes are also really good. Amazing music, amazing gameplay. I love Sonic Adventure 2. I think it is one of my top 5 favorite games ever made. It's part of why I'm as into Sonic as I am. It's great. Solid game. Solid, the pinnacle. The peak, even. Some games have come close to topping it. Some games have come close, but I don't think that Sonic Adventure 2 has been topped yet. I would love to see it someday, but it's not there yet. Sonic Heroes is in part of why I'm doing this, because I'm actually playing Sonic Heroes right now. Like, I just booted it up, I was like, I haven't played Sonic Heroes in a while. It is a noticeable downgrade from the adventure games, but it's still really fun. The positives. Great level design throughout. If Sonic Adventure was, how do we make a 3D game with Sonic in it? Sonic Heroes looks at the Genesis titles and goes, how do we make a Sonic game 3D? It basically has 7 zones, with 2 acts each and then a boss, and it keeps the Sonic 3 idea of, while every zone is, both acts in the zone are clearly themed together, you're able to tell at a moment's notice the difference between them. Like, both of the Seaside Hills stages are different in how they play. Both of the Rail Cannon stages are different. Like, it is... And the level design within that is so clever. Like, you can't tell me that Sonic Heroes isn't raw when there isn't a level dedicated to you grinding into a giant 100-foot gun, shooting yourself out of that gun and into other trains to blow them up. If they don't shoot into the train, but you shoot to other stations to blow up trains. The Eggman's I think Sonic Heroes started the like. No, not Eggman. No, that'd be a little later. I was like, is this where Eggman Land started? No. I think that would be Circus Park actually from Shadow the Hedgehog. Anyways, Sonic Heroes level design consistently amazing. Like, if Sonic Heroes was just like those 14 stages, it'd be a little short, but it would be amazing. I'm not going to defend playing the game 4 times. That is one of the biggest complaints about it, and it is straight up true. Sonic Heroes has basically 4 playthroughs you have to do, and only Team Chaotix justifies its existence. You do play through the same 14 stages. The difference is Team Rose is easy mode, Team Sonic is normal mode, and Team Dark is hard mode. They do not justify themselves. You will get tired of the game after a while. There's just no getting away from that. Which is a shame, because the levels are great. But I don't want to play through the same game 4 times. Like, yes, it's what everyone says. But everyone says that for a reason. It's stupid. It sucks. I don't like it. There were 2 other big problems with Sonic Heroes. One of the other ones is that the special stages in Sonic Heroes control like straight up unwashed butt cheeks. They just do not feel good to play through. You will clip on nothing in the special stages, and I don't get it. I do not understand why. It just doesn't feel... They're just Sonic 2 special stages, but worse. I don't know how you pull that off. And then the third problem with Sonic Heroes. The third one. Sometimes it just decides you deserve to die. Like, there are moments where you will just, like, hit an air dash panel, and it'll just blow you to your death, because it'll just won't touch the next thing it's supposed to touch. Sometimes you'll attack an enemy and collide with geometry somehow that sends you zooming off to Narnia. And then, like, literally, just before I recorded this, I was playing through my Team Sonic run, and at the end of the toboggan section of, the railway level, you're supposed to get, like, zoomed forward onto another rail, and I just stood in place, and therefore did not have enough distance to make the jump, and I had to just kill myself. Like, Sonic Heroes, every now and again, just makes you pay a tax. It's like, you've been going a little too long there, buddy. Give me a life. Put it in my hands. Come on, give it here. I know you got one. Which is a shame, because the level design and gameplay of Heroes is great. Using the 3 different, gameplay styles of speed, power, and flight, all are great. The team attacks are really cute. And something that Heroes I don't think gets enough credit for is its charm. Like, the characters talking amongst themselves and examining things as they go is really cute. Like, Amy being this, like, big sister to Cream and talking to her about, like, yeah, no, we got this. Like, Amy's go-get-em attitude. Or, like, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles just chatting as they go through a level. It's really sweet. I really like, in the Haunted level, Knuckles is just, like, teasing Tails, like, you know, maybe we saw Shadow's ghost. Ooh. It's so cute. But its story's actually weird now that I think about it. Because Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 took themselves seriously and told a serious narrative. And then Sonic Heroes kinda doesn't. Like, it does have a it doesn't even have a serious plot twist, because they give away that Metal Sonic's the main villain in the opening cutscene. And the Metal Sonic's cool, like, Neo Metal Sonic's cool, and, like, they leave off on a serious cliffhanger with the Shadow clone, but, like, it's really not as in-depth as 1 and 2, and then immediately after it is Shadow the Hedgehog in 06, which is back to taking itself as seriously as the adventure games. So, like, did they just go, alright, we need a little bit of a breather after Shadow died in Sonic Adventure 2, let's make a sillier one. And then immediately lock the fuck back in with Shadow? I don't know. If Sonic Heroes... I might be able to forgive the 4 playthroughs if it didn't randomly make you kill yourself. If one of those two was fixed, I think I'd actually put it at the bottom of S tier. But as it is, I like Sonic Heroes. I replay it every now and again. It's high A. I do really like it. Like, the controls and level design are the most important things to get right. And they get that right. It's just, why am I playing it 4 times? Now, after I spent all of that time bitching about Sonic Heroes making me play it 4 times, surely you would think that Shadow the Hedgehog making you play it 10 times would drive me crazier. No. I am saying this with complete sincerity. Shadow the Hedgehog, I am more willing to defend for making you play it 10 times than Heroes 4 times. Because a playthrough of Shadow the Hedgehog is 6 stages and then an ending. And Shadow the Hedgehog operates under a mission system. Almost every stage has 3 missions, Hero, Dark, and Neutral. And they do change up how the game plays. It is your traditional Sonic Adventure flair, you know, you just go forward, you platform, you go from point A to point B. If you look around or do some good platforming, you get secrets like rings, lives, etc. But Shadow the Hedgehog spices it up with the mission system, which gives you unique objectives that further prioritize looking around the level or getting to the end goal in a different way. It also has guns. And guns are cool. People went, ugh, why does Shadow have a Glock? Why not? What do you have against it? Why can't he cock a fully automatic rifle in the opening cutscene? He should be allowed to. It does have a little bit of Heroes where sometimes you just die for no reason and it's not your fault, but it's definitely toned down. The story is actually, while it's told in an intentionally convoluted way, is pretty good. I really like the story of Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, the whole idea that you shouldn't throw away your past, but you shouldn't be chained down to it either. Like, everything about Shadow's amazing. I made a video on it, you should watch that before I break down your walls and eat the cotton candy in them. It's solid. The only real problem is Westopolis. You do have to play through that stage 10 times, and that gets annoying. But once you get out from Westopolis, all the other stages, there's a lot of really fun ones. I really like Circus Park. I really love Cosmic Fall. Cosmic Fall might be one of my top 5 Sonic stages, period. The stage where you have to shoot down the president's airplane is great. Like, there's just a lot of really good stages. The guns aren't the most inventive, but, like, they do the job. The Chaos Blast and Chaos Control meters are really cool. You can either, like, use them as an infinite ammo cheat, because when you're in Chaos, either evil or dark form, which you get by defeating a lot of either evil or good enemies, you get infinite ammo. So if you have a really good gun, you don't even need to use the special Chaos powers. You'll just shoot your gun. And then by defeating enemies, you'll fill up the bar. And then you'll just have infinite ammo. Forever. It's really fun to do in the gun base level where you get the really powerful machine gun. You can keep evil Chaos up that entire time. The entire stage. It's great. It's good. Were it not for Westopolis and its controls being a little worse than the adventure games, I honestly think Shadow could be my favorite. There exists a version of Shadow that is my favorite Sonic game. It's close. But I do really like Owly Edge. And I'm glad that people are like, it used to be, Shadow's edgy. But now it's like, ha, Shadow's edgy. It's great. I love him. Alright, Sonic 06. Okay. Look, Sonic 06 is infamously one of the worst games ever made. That is true. It is a glitchy, unruly garbage mess that loads for 30 years and doesn't work. That is true. Its story is really stupid, has a lot of garbage plot beats, and really just has some kind of cool ideas, and none of them get executed correctly. That is true. this game genuinely ruined Sonic's reputation in a way that, let's see, 2006? About 18 years later, we still haven't recovered from. It really is absolute putrid dog shit. It's going in A tier. This game is one of the funniest games ever made. It literally is like a Tommy Wiseau The Room. So fucking dog shit, it loops back around to being great. It's not like Sonic Heroes or Shadow the Hedgehog, where when they just kill you for no reason because, like, it just doesn't work sometimes, it's frustrating. Nothing works in Sonic the Hedgehog. You die, you careen off edges, you freeze in place, you bump into invisible walls every 5 seconds. Every time you think you've seen all the bullshit this game has to offer, you learn that there's more bullshit. And it's just beautiful. I've only played Sonic the Hedgehog to completion once. And admittedly, this might be influencing why it's A tier for me. Because I played it with one of my best friends, Topher, and we were just two unemployed fucks in our early 20s, sitting in his basement, and he just went, hey, what if I turned off the internet on my PS3 and you just played a completely unpatched Sonic 06? And I went, yes! And it was one of the greatest nights of my life. So, the memories of one of my best friends, I say memories like he's dead. The motherfucker's in California right now enjoying Christmas with his Beyonce. Bitch. The memories of him might be heavily influencing Sonic 06's placement, but it's too fucking funny. Every other minute, you are, like, glitching into something. It's funny. It's not a good game, alright? It's garbage. But it's too fun for me to say it's not A tier. I have heard there's a fan, like, patch that turns Sonic 06 into the game it was always meant to be, and it's actually, like, amazing. I need to try that. I've heard really good things about it. But as it stands, I honestly don't know how fixing Sonic 06 could be as fun as it being the way that it is. Alright. I definitely know in the timeline I've bypassed a few of them. So, the advanced games, they're all different, but they're all basically, they're the evolution of two. I'm going to group all of them together. Sonic Advance 2 is an A tier because that is actually the only one of the trilogy that I played as a kid. I played the other two much later, so childhood nostalgia gives Sonic Advance 2 the bump. It's just, while Console Sonic was being Console Sonic, doing all kinds of different things, Sonic Advance was just, hey, here's 2D Sonic. It has the grinding, it has the multiple playable characters, so it's not literally just from Sonic 3. It introduces some aspects from the 3D games, and they're just competent platformers. I feel like the gaming space really misses the handheld market, because you couldn't release Sonic Advance today. A smaller scale 2D Sonic game? Wait, hold on. You know what? I'm going to take that back. I'm going to stop that. Maybe Sonic isn't the franchise to do that for. Actually, no, what? I take it back. It is. Because people hated Superstars. And I'm going to just you wait. I have some things to say about Superstars. I'm getting the shield ready. A small-scale 2D Sonic game is fine. Yes, you can beat every Sonic Advance game in like an hour or two. You could also beat every original Sonic game in like an hour or two. Like, they're just solid 2D platformers. You get to play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Cream. And I feel like I'm forgetting one of the playable characters in the Advance games. Because I know Advance 1 was Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy. Advance 2 was Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Cream? And then Sonic 3, I think, was back to Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy. It's been a while. But they're solid games. Perhaps a bit not too noteworthy because they're like they're good. And I think that's part of the reason the advanced games don't get remembered that much. Also because, like, the only thing in them that really stuck around was Cream. Actually, isn't this where Gemerald comes from? No, Gemerald comes from Battle. No, Gemerald's in Advanced 3. Emerald's in Battle, Gemerald's in Advanced 3. I'm sorry, I'm probably fucking that up. The Sonic lore heads in chat, god damn, I watch too many streamers. I haven't Twitch streamed in like 8 fucking months, and I just called people chat. I need to kill myself. The lore heads are probably upset at me for flubbing that a bit, but the games are fine. They are solid titles. If a bit unnoteworthy, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with coming out, doing your job well, even if you don't necessarily push the envelope. Alright, and then Sonic Rush. Again, I believe this is where the boost was introduced for 2D Sonic. And it's good. Blaze the Cat's a fan favorite that a lot of people like, even if Sega... What the fuck is her lore now? Is she still a princess from another dimension, or is she a time traveler with silver? I don't know. Anyways, Sonic and Blaze both play fun. The controls are solid. It's literally... This is just Advance 4. That's really what Sonic Rush is. It's good. It does its job well. Some fun levels. Some fun level design. But there's not a whole lot to talk about it, because it's just a solid 2D Sonic game. Worth playing, but I think it's probably really hard to play Sonic Rush. I don't think it's ever been ported onto anything. But it's good. Sonic Rush is solid. The stuff with the alternate dimension is kind of cool. Eggman Nega has a cool design. Oh, and yeah, yes, we all know. Eggman Nega sounds like the N-word. Everyone laugh and give me 30,000 likes on Twitter.com. It's good. I feel bad for, like, Advance and Rush truthers, but I really don't have that much to say about them. They're just good at what they do. Nothing wrong with that. But I got nothing. Okay, so what came out next? I think Sonic and the Secret Rings is next? I don't like Secret Rings. I'm gonna say it right now. This is another one I have not played since I was a wee little lad. So maybe I could go back and play Sonic and the Secret Rings and enjoy it more. But, as it stands, I just don't like the controls. For those of you that don't know, Sonic and the Secret Rings suffered from one major fatal disease. Being a launch window Nintendo Wii title. Which means we need to have motion controls or else we will die. So you don't actually control Sonic with a control stick. You control him like you're playing Mario Kart Wii and you tilt the Wii remote. As a kid, I remember hating this. I really didn't like this. However, I still played all the way to Eraser Jin. I don't think I've ever actually beaten Secret Rings. I distinctly remember I got to the final boss because I remember his theme. It Has Come to This is amazing. One of the best final boss themes. Gets underlooked next to Crush 40. But, like, its level set pieces are cool. I really do like the Arabian Nights aesthetic. The Storybook games, I really love the look of. Even if I remember correctly, it doesn't even stick to Arabian Nights that much. Like, yes, there's the desert town, and then there's the palace, but then, like, there's a dinosaur level? A pirate level, I think? I distinctly remember you going, like, Sonic's on a little raft and he's going through the ocean. I could be misremembering that. I just do not like the controls. It's also mission-based in a weird way. Again, I'm not quite remembering. Where, like, you would go through the same level, picking a different mission, and then that would start you at a different point in the level, and sometimes you would loop around trying to find shit. I don't remember. It's been a while. It's just, I don't like how it controls. Call me a boomer, but I think if I'm playing a video game, I need a controller in my hand, and either a D-pad or a control stick. I'm not trying to play Yoshi Topsy-Turvy for Sonic the Hedgehog. Music's good, though. Music is good, though. 7 Rings in Hand, banger. Palace That Was Found, banger. The story is okay as well. I didn't think Sonic helping a woman overcome her abusive relationship was like what I was expecting, but they play it straight, they play it sweet, and it's really good. I feel bad because I can't remember the woman's name, but she was sweet. I liked her. She'll never come back, sadly. I think the most we're ever going to get of Secret Rings is Sonic's offhand comment in Sonic Generations. Sonic Generations... Hang on, I gotta scroll down here. Where are you, Sonic Generations? Oh, there you are. There you are. I'm just gonna put that up, and that's somewhere around there. That, like, Sonic's offhand comment in Sonic Generations about... It's like, this isn't as weird as fighting genies. I just wish the controls were better, because I love the aesthetic, I love the music. The level set pieces are cool. I just don't like how it controls. I also haven't played it in like 20 years. So that might also influence how I'm feeling. It is not 20 years. That game did not come out in 2004. But it's been a while. I think I still have my copy, though. Heaven knows if it works. Okay. Secret Rings into Black Knight? Black Knight fixes a lot of problems of Secret Rings. I'm gonna put it... top of B tier. I think. Sonic and the Black Knight's strength is its story. Sonic going back in time to fight King Arthur should be something that's stupid. And it kind of is, but in an awesome way. Giving him a talking sword should be stupid. It is, but in an awesome way. You need to accept that you are watching the Knights of the Round Table as Sonic the Hedgehog. And there's a really good lesson in there about how the passage of time's cruel, unrelenting nature means we kind of have to live our lives to the fullest, knowing damn well that it's all going to end someday. It's very sweet. It's a very good narrative. You just have to accept when Sir Gawain is going to kill himself after losing a duel, you're looking at Knuckles the Echidna. You have to accept that. I can. I can roll with it. But I understand that it's a bit of an ask. And gameplay-wise, you use the nunchuck. And you can swing your sword with the Wii remote. I would have admittedly just liked a controller. And it's not like the swordplay is anything interesting. It's very, like, basic. I don't know. It's like... It's also... God, it's been a while. But it's also kind of has that hallway-esque gameplay that Secret Rings has. Where, like, the adventure games would have all kinds of different elevations, open areas. I remember Secret Rings and Black Knight being very hallway-esque. Very Final Fantasy X of them. And I don't really like that too much. But Sonic and the Black Knight is cool. I remember playing the party mode with my friends a few times. My buddy Courtney would bring it out and she and I would play. But it's okay, it's good. The story carries it. If the story wasn't as immaculate as it would probably just be C tier. Because its gameplay, while it is doing what Secret Rings wants to do, but better, still isn't great. But it's good. It's good enough to care, like, the gameplay is good enough to be paired with its amazing story. Really like it, really good, solid title. Fuck, did these games come before or after Unleashed? And where does Sonic 4 fit into all of this? I'm fucking up the timeline, I don't care. Sonic Unleashed, that's A-tiered. If I remember correctly, this was the first Boost 3D Sonic game. And it does it really well. Like, from the gate, blazing through the levels, it does admittedly have a bit of that hallway feeling that I don't like. Where it's mostly a straight line. Not a straight line, that's a little disingenuous. But still, the boost gauge does actually feel really satisfying to get the hang of, because you can't just hold boost the whole time. You'll careen off and die. But managing when to use the boost, to get boost, when to slow down, it's really fun to get right. The blueprint is there that I think a certain other game down here perfects. It is a solid title. The story's also pretty good. They kind of don't know what to do with Eggman in it, because, like, at first he's this big, serious threat, like in the opening cutscene of, like, Supersonic in space. But then he's kind of a joke a bit when he's going across the other, like, towns of the world. It introduced my boy Orbot. And, if I catch any Orbot and Cubot slander, I'll kill you. I love those fuckers. And then there's the giant werehog-shaped elephant in the room. The werehog's okay. It's a beat-em-up. It's like, not the greatest beat-em-up, but it's not, like... It's not horrible. Like, I've played worse beat-em-ups. And plus, like, stretching the arms, beating the shit out of things, like, it's fun. It goes on a little too long. I feel like the werehog levels would be better if every single one of them was a minute shorter. But it's okay. It's also much more noticeable because the daytime stages where you're playing as regular Sonic are so much more fun that it makes the werehog way worse by comparison. But it's still great. Even with all of that, it is a fantastic game. I will say, though, I miss Chip. I'm gonna be honest, I think of all of Sonic's companions, I think Chip is my favorite. Like, he felt the most like a cool companion for Sonic that didn't feel like Tails or any of his other companions, moved the story along in his own way, and I'm sad that he's not dead, he's like with the Earth again or whatever it was. But like, I like little old Chip. The little movies they did with him are also really cute. Like, I really like Sonic Unleashed and Chip. Pour one out for the homie. But, still, not exactly the most brave of opinions to have. I know, right? Like, oh, the Boost stage good, Werehog stage bad. I mean, sometimes public perception on things is correct. I mean, that's just how it is sometimes. I do think they were a little harsh on the dear, humble Werehog, but it is a valid complaint to have. You know what else the general public wasn't wrong about? Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Episode 1 is pure diarrhea. It's only 4 zones, which, how do you have less content than the original Genesis title? And I'll be honest, I don't even remember all the zones. Like, there was Green Hill 2, Labyrinth 2, and then like 2 others I can't even remember. I straight up, like, just forgot so much about that game because nothing that's worth remembering. Like, having the homing attack is kind of cool, I guess. I think that was in Sonic Rush, actually. Yeah, I think Sonic Rush had the homing attack. It didn't even do that originally. Oh, no, Sonic Rush just had the boost, I think. Fuck, I need to replay the 2D entries. It's been a while. But, like, it's bad. It's bad. I don't even want to talk about it. It's bad in an unnoteworthy way. Boring level design, rehashed level design. Physics aren't the greatest, momentum's weird. Way too short. It's bad. It's one of those games that's so bad, when the sequel comes out and does everything better and is actually genuinely a really fun game, no one gives a shit. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 actually controls better, the level design is better, the team-up attacks with Tails are really fun to do. It's just straight up a better game, and actually a very competent 2D platformer. It's not, like, amazing, but it's good. I've only played it once, though, so maybe a replay will have it not hold up as well, but it's solid. Though that's the other thing with Sonic 4. Like, Sonic 4 is bad in a boring way. Sonic 4 2 is good in a boring way. It just kind of does what it does. I'm not a big fan of the art style with it. I'm not saying you need to go back to sprites, but, like, you could have done better. It's a competent game. I remember it being pretty good. Again, though, I only played it once, and that was when it came out, like, 10 years ago. So. Alright. We're done talking about Sonic 4. Next Colors, I think, was next. Yeah, there is some... Where do I want to put Colors? Above the advanced games, below 2, sounds right. Sonic Colors has some revisionism going on, because it did get a lackluster remaster. And people hate Sonic Colors for being the first, like, meta-era Sonic, which, for those of you that don't know what that means, Sonic's writing stopped taking itself seriously for a few games, and people really didn't like that. But, I don't know, I thought it was fine. Listen, Baldy nose hair is a bad joke, but no copyright law in the universe is going to stop me. Solid. Orbot and Cubot? Great. It took until Sonic Colors for the Sonic games to learn the lesson that the cartoons did, where Eggman needs some dumb little guys. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog? Scratch and Grounder. Sonic X? The yellow one and the gray one, whose names I forget. Sonic Colors? Orbot and Cubot. Eggman needs some little guys. So the writing is fine, even if it's not amazing, like, I don't know, the whole, the writing's fine. Not all of the jokes land, I will admit some of them are groan-inducing, but enough of them land. And the gameplay is really fun. It jumbles 2D and 3D really well, the Wisps are all really fun to play as. Yeah, I'm trying to think here, like, more to say. The amusement park, like, set piece is really fun. Like, I really like the Land of Sweets. The water level's actually really fun. The introduction to the park is great. Like, I do really like Sonic Colors. It does suffer from having a dog shit remaster. That I really think isn't even that dog shit. I think it's gotten patched since to be less dog shit. But it's another solid title that gets shit for things outside of its control. I'm realizing that I need to replay a lot of these games. But alright, anyways, Sonic Generations I played recently, and I can say that is bottom of S tier. Sonic Generations is amazing. It's a love letter to Sonic's history. You got 9 levels, 2 acts each for 2D and 3D. This is the best boost Sonic feels to control. His momentum is great. The level design with all the branching paths you can find are great. 2D Sonic is stellar. Like, the locations they pick are all mostly solid. Like, going through the top of my head, they're gonna do Green Hill Zone, that's correct. Chemical Plant is the right pick. Sky Sanctuary's odd because I don't know if I would necessarily say that's the Sonic 3 stage, but it's still good, it's still solid, it's still fun. Not Radical Highway. Speed Highway, City Escape, obviously, solid picks. I think I like Lost World more, but they weren't going to do Lost World for the 4th level of the game. Seaside Hill is good. I'm blanking. Crisis City is great. I'm blanking. I just played this game a few months ago. Why am I blanking? Oh, Rooftop Run is great, even though did we really need another city level? Anyway, I'm nitpicking here. All the stages are great. The controls are great. The feeling is great. They do kind of get too much with the special, like, minute-long challenge stages. Like, some of them are really cute. The ways that all your different friends help you out is really cool. Like, the ones where Vector is throwing you around. The ones where you're using Knuckles treasure hunting. Like, they're cute. There's fucking 90 of them. Like, why? There's too many. But it is still really fun, controls really well. I don't mind any of the levels. A lot of people really don't like Planet Wisp. I think it's fine. I think it doesn't feel like a final level. Like, it really doesn't. But in terms of just a level, it's fine. Fun to play, I like it. What was it? Oh yeah, there is one problem with Sonic Generations, and a reason I can't put it any higher in S tier, even though everything playing it is amazing. The story is not good. Because they take it too seriously. like, a crossover of old and new, the fun of that is seeing how the old and new interact with each other. You can make jokes about, like, things that have changed, things that have stayed the same. Sonic Generations just doesn't try. Like, at all. In fact, the rewrite on Sonic X Shadow Generations removed some of the jokes. Like, I remember there was a line when Tails and Sonic are in Chemical Plant, and Tails is like, let's get out of here. That blue water's making me really nervous for some reason. That's funny. Knuckles calls Classic Sonic fat. That's funny. They just don't tell jokes and play it serious. Like, what is this big, spooky Time Eater thing? Oh, we gotta find the Chaos Emeralds. Oh, what's going on? Like, they don't tell jokes. The only time that it's really, like, where it feels like it should be is at the very end with both of the Eggmans bouncing off of each other and sucking each other's dicks. That was great. That was funny. Or, like, there is one scene I really like, and it's my favorite scene in the game. Like, it's a two-parter. About halfway through the game, Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic are racing for a Chaos Emerald, and Modern Sonic wins by boosting to it. And then Classic Sonic jumps up, tries to do a boost, he fails. And then at the end of the game, when Classic Sonic's about to go back to his time, he actually does a little boost. It's not much, he only gets like a few feet. But he like does it, and Sonic's like, or Modern Sonic's like, good job, man, keep practicing, you got this. That was really cute. I really liked that. I needed more of that. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot by having Classic Sonic not talk. Because that's part of the problem. Sonic can't interact with Sonic because Classic Sonic doesn't say a goddamn word. Like, I don't get it. Like, the narrative should have been funnier than it was, and it just wasn't. Amazing game, though. Amazing game. Sonic Rivals 2. That's gotta be one of the weirdest things on here, because you're like, man, he's not looking at Sonic the Fighters, he's not looking at Sonic Chaos, but he's looking at Sonic Rivals 2, not even 1? Somehow, I had Sonic Rivals 2 as a kid, and not the first one or anything else like that. God, I'm trying to remember anything about it, because I remember owning it on PSP. Sonic Rivals had, like, 8 playable characters. It was 2D Sonic. You were raced. Like, every stage was a race. There was a jungle level that was kind of cool. You collected cards. Silver and Espio were a team for some fucking reason. I don't remember any. I'm gonna be honest. I put it here because, like, oh yeah, I played Sonic Rivals 2 as a kid. I don't remember anything about it. I am putting it at the top of C because I genuinely have no feelings. Like, it's probably a better game than Labyrinth and Spinball, but I don't remember anything about it. I do not remember a damn thing about Sonic Rivals 2, other than I owned it, cool jungle level. Wow. Okay, so after that, was it Lost World or Mania? I think Lost World before Mania? Mania? I'm gonna do Mania. Sonic Mania would be the greatest 2D Sonic ever made if it just did more original stuff. Sonic Mania controls great. The elemental shields come back from 3, they're super fun to use. All the different playable characters, especially when you add back in Mighty and Ray. Great. The level design, fantastic. 80% of this game is shit I've done before. I've been to Green Hill. I've been to Chemical Plant. Like, if I wanted to go through them again, I would just play the Genesis games. And now Sonic Mania does spice up those old levels, but sometimes it's spicing them up by adding in gimmicks from other levels. Like, Sonic Mania just brings back Lava Reef, and I love Lava Reef, it's a cool zone, one of my favorites from Sonic 3, and then it's like, oh, to make it different, we're gonna add conveyor belts that shift the speed and switch the direction they're going when you flip a switch. And it's like, you didn't make Lava Reef new, you just made Lava Reef guest starring Quartz Quadrant. Like, that's not, I don't give a shit. It's like, oh, Oil Ocean, we're gonna bring that back, except now in the second zone, Like, it's all smoggy and smoky, and you have to find switches to hang from, to pull, to clear the smog, or else you'll take damage and die. And I'm like, you didn't make a new zone, you just took Oil Ocean and slapped Sandopolis on it. Which is a shame, because it controls great. It feels so fun to play, and the best zones of the game are the original zones. Studiopolis zone, so much fun to go through, so many cool gimmicks to it. The printing press zone is really cool, really fun. The Egg Emperor zone is my favorite. Egg Monarch is my favorite final zone of any of the classic Sonic games. When Sonic Mania actually does its own thing, it is one of the top 3 greatest Sonic games ever made. But it just doesn't. It feels completely chained to Genesis Sonic and not like another step forward from it. Which is just, like, I know, I complained all about that and put it at the top of A. It plays great, it feels great, even in those rehashed zones, they're still fun. I don't know, I feel like I'm complaining so much because I know there's a version of Sonic Mania where they just made an original game and it was amazing. It's great, it's still great. I know I'm sounding really weird saying all those complaints and putting it in A. You just have to play it yourself. Maybe it's also because I replay classic Sonic very frequently, that Sonic Mania doing the same thing bothers me. I have to remember, for a lot of people, they just played classic Sonic in the 90s. And then Sonic Mania came out and they're like, ooh, okay, let me try that. So them doing the same thing didn't feel bland to them. It just felt like, oh man, that was really cool. I remember that when I was a child. Meanwhile, I'm like, I remember that from when I replayed this game 6 months ago. That's kind of the problem. I've noticed, like, other fan servicey games like that don't gel with me. Like Fire Emblem Engage. When that game brought back maps from old Fire Emblems, I wasn't like, oh, yo, this is the Reinhardt map from Fire Emblem 5. Like, they're just doing the Reinhardt map from Fire Emblem 5. Like, that kind of fan service does not gel with me. It's probably because I replay games too much. I should get a life. Anyways. Sonic Lost World was before Superstars. Lost World, okay, this is another one that I really like. Yeah, no, I like Sonic Lost World. The story's dog shit. The 7 Deadly, whatever the fuck their name is, I don't even know, Zeddies? The Deadly 7, they suck. Sure. Zavik is almost endearing in a weird way, where he's not interesting, he's not cool at all. But, like, they just kept putting him in things that it almost became endearing. It's like, there's Zavik again. He was in Forces. He was in Sonic, Team Kart. Like, I don't know why Zavik's there. But anyways, the gameplay of Lost World's really fun. I think... I honestly do not get the complaints for this game. People are like, Sonic's just copying Mario Galaxy. It's like, I don't really get that complaint too much. You are aware Mario Galaxy's, like, one of the greatest games ever made. If I were to make, like, if I were to try to be objective as possible and make the greatest platformers of all time, there's a real argument Mario Galaxy is the #1 spot. So, like, why would a game that's kind of copying its flow be a bad thing? Its level design is really fun, even if, like, sometimes it can be a little unimaginative and, its aesthetic. Like, the first world of the game is just, whoa, it's Windy Hill, it's just Green Hill, but we cut up the blocks. Like, yeah, sure. The controls are good, the gameplay, is tight. The story is the only real problem. Wait a minute, were fucking Amy and Knuckles in there? I'm, like, vaguely remembering that they were there, but what the fuck did they do? Okay, there is one thing. Hold on, I'll take it back. It does have one of the single greatest cutscenes in all of gaming history, when Zavik is, like, taunting Sonic Eggman on a screen. He's like, haha, you are bitch. And Eggman's like, nuh-uh, you're bitch. And then he, like, punches the screen so hard that he breaks the wall it's being projected on. And then Cubot's like, are you alright? Your hands are probably fucked up. And Eggman's like, his exact line is, as long as they can strangle a Zeddy, I'm fine. And I'm like, why is the hardest Eggman line of all time in Sonic Lost World? It doesn't belong there. No, I'm a Sonic Lost World truther. I think that game gets a lot of hate, and it doesn't deserve it. Sonic Superstars! Alright. I think this might be the most controversial opinion on this list. Outside of Sonic CD being so low. I actually like Superstars more than Mania. In fact, I really like Superstars. Because it's a 2D classic Sonic game that's actually trying to do something different. I love all the unique Chaos Emerald power-ups. I like that they integrate, like, rather than having sections in the stage necessarily dedicated for the abilities of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, or Amy, there's, like, special one-off levels where they make use of their talents. The levels concepts themselves are great. Yeah, some of them are reused, I can't deny that. 2D Sonic is kind of formulaic. But none of them are carbon copies. Like, the amusement park level does not just feel like Casino Night again. The first level does kind of feel like Green Hill again, but that's the problem with all the Sonic games, except specifically Sonic 3. Like, Green Hill Zone, Emerald Hill, like, they all feel the same. Angel Island doesn't. But anyways. I love the fucking El Dorado City of Gold pinball stage. Like, I'm not really, like I said, I don't like pinball, but that was such a cool concept. I couldn't help but love it. The ice base was cool. The space station, though it was just a Death Egg again, kinda, felt good. Like, the Chaos Emerald powers were great. Trip was a fun exclusion. Welcome back, Fang the Sniper. Like, I don't remember the Sonic Game Gear games, like the proper platformers that Fang was in enough to put them here. I mean, I vaguely remember the Game Gear games, but Fang was in what? Sonic Chaos, I think? Anyways. Like, I really like Superstars. People complained about the bosses. There's no way for me to say this without sounding like a cocky douche. That might just be a skill issue. I remember liking the bosses. None of them felt that cheap to me. The final boss was hard. That's for sure. It took me like several tries to beat him. But he's the final boss. He's supposed to be difficult. That's kind of what the final boss does. Still, I will say I did not play Trip Mode. I should go back and play Trip Mode. Because I remember a lot of people saying her final boss is, like, truly egregious horse shit. And maybe. But I really like Superstars. I can see myself doing a replay soon, because I haven't played it since it came out, and it's only been a year. I will say, though, Superstars died. Oh, I forgot the Sonic Forces. Oh, God, I'll get to that. Superstars died because it was released within a week of Mario Wonder. And as someone that likes Sonic more than Mario, but still likes Mario, Mario Wonder clears, like, almost every game on this list. Like, if I would have put Mario Wonder somewhere, it would probably be, like, right here. In between Adventure and Shadow the Hedgehog. That's the best 2D Mario, one of the best Mario games ever made. So, like, Superstars was also $60, and I think it should have been a $40 game. I think $40, don't release it right next to Mario Wonder, you've got yourself a much better, like, people will respond to it much better. However, I still really like it. I think it gets shit on way too much. Sega themselves said it was a failure. I'll kill him. Okay, look, here it is. Alright, Sonic Forces. I forgot about it. Alright. I maintain the belief that if you find Sonic Forces in a bargain bin or on a Steam sale for $10 or whatever, buy it. Sonic Forces is worth $10, and you will have a very fun 3 hours. This game was released for $60. I'm going to put this at the top of C. Infinite's a cool idea that doesn't really do anything. Eggman having all the classic villains like Chaos Zero, Metal Sonic, and Zavik is a cool idea. Doesn't really do anything. A world torn by war, cool, doesn't really do anything. The gameplay is just more boost stuff, but the level design is worse than Generations and Lost World. But it's still, like, kind of fun, but not as much. Like, this is a game that, I don't even know how you really fix it. It, like, everything about how it's designed, about how, like, there were videos of people just holding the boost button and beating an entire stage without moving. Not all of them are like that. Like, that is a little disingenuous, but it's not entirely disingenuous. Like, I do not know how you make a Sonic Forces that wasn't destined to be pretty good for $10. Like, the way it's designed, the way it wants to be, that's just the best praise you can say for it. It's a fine $10 game. Knuckles telling Vector the Crocodile war is hell, though. It's pretty good. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I played this with my buddy John, who doesn't like Sonic at all and just wanted to play it specifically because it wasn't like a Sonic game. It's cute. It feels weird, because in terms of how well made it is, it deserves to be on the top of A tier, because, like, it's a really well-made visual novel. But, like, do I really enjoy it more? I'm gonna put it at the top of B. Because, like, I'm gonna want to play. Honestly, I would probably replay every Sonic game on this list before Murder of Sonic. But I can't act like it's not good at what it does. The fuck you. Alright, so basically, Amy's birthday. Amy is like, I want to do a murder mystery. Cool, everyone gets in, they're all dressed up. It's, if I'm remembering correctly, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Rouge, Blaze, Vector, and Espio. Charmy was shot in Miami by a rival drug cartel. And it's just a visual novel murder mystery. You play as one of the assistants there. I think his name is Barry the Quokka? Something like that. And you just walk around with Tails and Amy, solving the mystery. It's cute. It is really, really cute. The writing gets a lot of laughs, particularly all the options you get with the vault, which, first of all, I love that they, like, go down an elevator into a vault of Blaze, Rouge, and, Barry. And, like, very obviously this vault can't logically exist on the train, but no one ever establishes that. You have, like, 30 different options to pick on how to get out of this bombed vault, apparently. It's really cute and funny. And the final story beat is actually really heartfelt. It's just solid. I do really like that Barry and the Conductor are featured on some official Sonic art that they post on Twitter every once in a while. They'll probably never make it to an actual mainline Sonic game, but they were never supposed to. I think Barry and the Conductor are just cute characters in a cute game, and it's sweet. Though I will admit, you can see the killer coming, like, as soon as you know what killed Sonic, you don't even need anything else there. Like, the weapon used to kill him is so very clearly something one character would use. It's cute, though. I like it. Sonic Frontiers. Okay. This is... Sonic Frontiers has this more revisionism, basically, where when it came out, everyone was like, man, this game is really fun. And now it's like, actually, Sonic Frontiers is dookie butt cheeks. Shadow is the real next Sonic game that we want everything to be off of. And I'll be honest, I don't need revisionism to think I don't like Sonic Frontiers gameplay. I don't like it very much. However, it has an amazing story. Sage is a great new character. The way that they write Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy is immaculate. The writing carries Sonic Frontiers. I really wanted to learn the truth behind the island. I wanted to see what was happening to Sonic. I wanted to see what Sage would do. Like, everything about its story kept me hooked. I laughed at its jokes. I was invested in its serious moments. Sonic Frontiers, after Forces was the last, like, mainline game, Frontiers put the series writing on track, and I cannot wait to see what it does next. I don't like open world games. I love Zelda, I don't like Breath of the Wild. I haven't even played Breath of the Wild 2. It doesn't interest me. I love Dark Souls. Elden Ring was the closest an open world game got to actually hooking me, but I still would rather just replay Dark Souls 1 or 3. I just don't like the formula of going around a big space, finding 27 little objectives, and then do the one big objective and move on. Like, I like it when games are level 1, complete level 1, level 2. And I know that that's a personal thing. But this is a personal list, suck my dick and also my balls. The supersonic fights were great set pieces. I'm not going to act like they're not. They're really fun. The final boss is interesting. I don't know why the fuck Ikaruga is what they do with it, but I'll take it. I don't have any real desire to replay Frontiers. In fact, I traded the game in for, I think Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I know, another open world game, but it's Pokemon, and again, I liked it. Actually, my thoughts on Scarlet and Violet are very close to Frontiers. Great story, characters, cool Pokemon. I just wish it wasn't open world. Where the fuck? I'm sorry. I started thinking about Arvin from Pokemon Scarlet. But yeah, I traded in Sonic Frontiers before the DLCs came out because I was like, I don't want to play this. It was good. It got me like $20 at GameStop for Scarlet. Or Violet. I got Violet. Purple Boy. Still, though, it's... If you like open world games, you probably put it higher. I wasn't too big a fan. Still, though, that writing was immaculate. Alright, and now for the most recent entry. Shadow Generations is the closest Sonic Adventure 2's ever come to being dethroned. The writing in that game, immaculate. Seeing Shadow actually talk to Maria and Gerald, amazing. Seeing Black Doom come back, I didn't really like Black Doom and Shadow, but in Generations, he does a great job doing what he needs to do. The levels control so fucking good. The Chaos power-ups are awesome. The big world where you explore and collect concept art is okay. It's admittedly not the greatest, but it's still fine. It's fun to fuck around with the shadow powers. If that's how they bring back adventure fields, which have been absent since Unleashed, am I remembering that right? Was Unleashed the last game to have, like, an area you run around in to pick a stage? I think it was. I would love it if Adventure Fields came back with something like what with Shadow Generations does. Just patch it up a bit and give it a visual aesthetic more interesting than the color white. Perfect. It's so fucking good. Genuinely an amazing game. And honestly, if we took the writing of Frontiers and the gameplay of Shadow, I think we dethrone Sonic Adventure 2. Like, I genuinely think Sonic could make the next greatest Sonic game ever made. It's not there yet, but ooh, I can feel it. I can taste it. Shadow the Hedgehog's fucking cool. Amen to the year of Shadow. It is an amazing time to be a Sonic fan. The movies are all great. The games are great. Even if I don't personally like Frontiers, I get why people do, and I get why, like, it's a good time to be a Sonic fan. As you can see by almost all of these games being B or higher, I like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, there's only 3 games down here I can say I really actively dislike. And even then, one of them's like, who gives a shit about Sonic Drift? Like, looking at all these other games, are there any here that... How is Sonic Extreme here? That game never came out. Alright. The collections I didn't include, because that didn't feel right to include. I haven't played Sonic Rush Adventure. I own it, actually. I should play it. To see why people really wish Marine was still around. Sega Superstars Tennis isn't a Sonic game. That's a tennis game. You think I'm gonna play as Sonic the Hedgehog when I can play as Samba de Amigo? Come the fuck on. The Sonic racing games, the kart racers, they're all really good. The problem is Mario Kart exists. And even though these are cool and different and you can play as Billy Hatcher in, like, the first one, I do hate that they took away the Sega All-Stars and just made it Sonic, though. The mobile games, I don't give a shit. Sonic Racing, that game just got announced a few weeks ago. I didn't play Sonic Boom. Sonic X Leapster. We're putting a fucking Leapster game here? Oh, fuck it. We gotta put Sonic X Leapster in S tier. Actually, hold on. 2 rows above, actually. S, triple S, Sonic X Leapster. There we go. That's a real man Sonic game.